Greetings, I'm Epictetus, and this is Epic Tech. And this is also, I promise, the last elevator episode for a long time. But we've got to get this thing working because, I mean, I would just be sad if it wasn't. A couple of things. One, I got a very long but wonderful comment from Kajin Gaming? Oh, I don't know. That person right there that kind of gave me several very good ideas. A few that I'll use, a few that I won't, because I got a lot of comments about how I could do the wheels thing and it would work a lot better and be smoother, etc., and I'm sure you're all correct. However, I've spent enough time on this elevator and I don't want to do it. So we're just going to keep my crazy backward duct tape solution with the tires on the pillars and it'll work. Also, I decided I needed light in this elevator shaft, so I threw in a couple of corner lights and it looked really good. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to actually probably... I'm not sure if I'm going to do it all the way up the shaft or if I'm going to go on each stopping floor. I'll have something along these lines. I thought they might get in the way, but they actually don't. I think it's because of the, you know, the shape of the tire and that sort of thing, which is kind of nice. I have at least this much working. So it's a bumpy ride, but it's fairly quick. And oh, I should probably turn on my lights. I see, that's why I need it. And there's kind of this point about halfway through where it gets stuck and then it starts going again and everything works. So I'm not going to complain. And it's faster than walking up the stairs and almost as fast as using my jetpack. So I like it. And we're eventually going to have, look at that, right, stops right there. Haha. And it still looks a little wonky, but who cares? One of the things that was suggested was a remote control for each floor, which is a great idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And that just simplifies everything. So this button right here, all it does is turn on the autopilot for the one remote control we currently have, which is already set up to come to this floor in the upward direction. Now, I had some suggestions saying that I didn't need to change the direction, that I could leave it on forward. I haven't tried that yet, but we'll give it a try. And I also need to finish off this. I'm going to take this shape and go all the way up the side of the tree, all the way up to the top, possibly right up to the very top. Yeah, why not? Why not? Right up into that corner there. And then I will be able to go anywhere on the stump without having to walk upstairs. We'll still have the stairs, of course, for emergencies, but anyway, let's get to work. I'm going to finish off the shaft really quick. Hey. Whoops. I probably should go ahead and empty my inventory. These are all these leftover heavy armor slopes from when I from when I built a tree in virtual reality and didn't pay attention to the fact that I'd used the wrong type, and then I projected it in. So again, I didn't pay attention to the fact that I had used the wrong type. I don't know why I didn't think of this a minute ago, but I have a remote control grinder. I'm going to use that, and then I won't be dropping parts all over my elevator. I just need some lights. Now I can just come in and do this. Ha! Igor! What are you shooting at? Whatever it was, it's dead. Okay. Alright, so I think I've got pretty much the whole thing done, but there's a few spots that we're going to have to fiddle with. And we need to actually mark our GPS points. So let's jump in here and take control. Get up to the next stop, which should be the control level, I believe. Ooh, you know what? There's a couple of points along here. I'm going to stand like this. I still can't really see. Oh, well. There's a couple of points along here where I have to make some decisions. Actually, I think this might be one of them. No, it's the next level up. So here's our control level, and that's pretty much perfect for the GPS point. So let's grab that. E space control floor. And this one is pretty much just right. I had to do some interesting things with the walls in some places, and I had to change some catwalks in a couple of places. But I think everything turned out pretty well. The next one's going to be interesting, so let's get up there and take a look. Shift I. Just do that. Silly, silly Epictetus. Alright, so this level, as you see, does not quite have walls. And we're not even going to be stopping at this level. But I need to make sure that these tires have something to bump on, because if it happens to be bumping back and forth and the tire gets through this space, it's going to get caught on that block up there. Or if I put in blocks all the way down, which I'm probably going to do anyway, I'll do these like I did on the other floors. It'll get caught on... not that button. It'll get caught on this one. So we need to have something in here. I'm thinking what I probably want to do is grab a door of some kind. A full sliding door seems like a good plan. And it's not a bad idea to have a door here anyway. Like something like that, or... yeah, I'll go that direction. But we still need something in this space. And I'm thinking I just might put a window there. Takes the least amount of space. And do I not have any girders? Apparently I don't have any girders. Now I do. There. Like that. And then now it has stuff to bump on, and I can just walk through here without having anything in the way. That'll work. I can even leave this door open most of the time. I guess I could put a window there instead of a door, but I've always actually kind of thought that there needed to be a door here anyway. So there you go. Now we have a door, and now we can't get back on our elevator. Okay, let's just run up there. Because this is the last floor. I don't want to be here. I want to be here. Okay. Shift I. Take control. And this one I'm a little bit nervous about because it's... oh. Ah, that's right. That was the other thing, is that I wasn't sure exactly how tall those tires were. So I wasn't sure if I was going to need to remove this, but apparently I do. That shouldn't be a problem. So we'll just make sure that we have 2 blocks up there. And we need to make sure that it's closed in all the way around in some way or another. Well, hopefully just the GPS point will be enough to keep it from flying out the top. People were asking for a Willy Wonka-esque elevator, and that actually is effectively what we've got. So E, top floor. Yeah, we actually could like take this thing out and fly it around, but seems like a bad idea. Let's test out this forward thing. So if I go to the remote control, which right now should be remote control mining floor, because we're going to have multiple of these. And if I set the direction instead of up to just forward, I would think that it would actually try to tip forward. But then again, do we need the gyros? What if I just turned off the gyro? Okay, I'm going to try it with the gyro on, but I have a feeling it's going to try to tip forward, which is not going to work properly. Yeah, that's what it's trying to do right now is it's trying to turn itself so that the forward direction is down. You know, so it's basically trying to rotate 90 degrees forward and then fly down that direction because it doesn't know it's an elevator. What if instead we turn off the gyroscope? Is it going to just go there anyway? It's just going to freak out just as much. Now, that may be... Hey. Thank you. That may be partially because there is a gyroscope on it. So maybe we have to remove the gyroscope. But for now, actually what I want to do is let's see how this works if I change this to down. Because it's already in the proper rotation for that. Okay. So now I was also told... Oh! Are we falling? What are we doing? Oh, we're going at 30 meters a second. Also... We missed our stop. Did I? I survived that? I cannot believe I survived that. Well. It is very rare that I am willing to reload unless it's clearly a bug. But in this case... rebuilding all this after spending 3 episodes on it, I want to see this thing happen. I'm gonna do the unthinkable, and I'm going to reload. Really? Apparently the last save was seconds after the crash. Awesome. That's okay. I've got auto backups as well. I'll go get one of those. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Okay, one more back. Alright, much better. So, let's do not bad things. Okay. There we go. Oh, well, okay. I got a little bit of work to do. It's not too bad. I was actually thinking about this earlier, that if I were to replace the bottom floor with tires, that if we ever did end up with a runaway elevator again, hopefully we wouldn't have as much damage. What? Oh. I think I just figured out what happened. That is completely my fault. So I figured out what happened. And, well, this is going to be interesting. Apparently, the elevator ran out of battery, which is entirely my fault, and it is going to definitely affect how we do our stops. I didn't even think about the fact that it could run out of batteries. Duh. But in the interest of the show, and in the interest of not making you guys watch me rebuild an elevator the exact same way again, I am going to go ahead and use the reload. And even though this is entirely my fault and a completely legitimate crash, if I can save this elevator, then we're going to save the elevator. But this is not normal for me. So here we go. We have like 10 seconds. Until it starts to plummet. And so what I'm going to do is try to catch it before it hits the ground. Oh, dang it. Oh! Okay, I can live with that. I can rebuild a few things. I think. Okay, we're going to stick that right there. And we're going to have to fix a few things, but that's not too bad. Not nearly as bad as it plummeting all the way to the ground, which is what was happening before. I've reloaded this a few times trying to save the elevator, and then I realized just how little time. Okay. It looks like everything on top survived. That's good news. One of the things we're going to be doing is putting in a connector on each level so that we don't have to worry about recharging or it using power while it's waiting at a stop. That should do. And then we're going to need to get back down underneath the elevator and fix the things that are broken, which is probably a lot. Let's go see. Okay. Not nearly as bad as I expected. That's good. Well, there's a simple solution to that. And that is remove the old battery and put in a new one. I mean, it sounds silly, but I mean, it works, right? There we go. Excellent. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about the battery going out. And we can actually go ahead and get these tires back on and kind of fix things. Fully recharged in 10 minutes. Excellent. Okay, we are good to go. So we're going to need to make a stop at each level that allows it to recharge on that level, just like we've got here. And this is actually where I might want to intentionally have the magnets turned on so that it kind of catches it and levels it out at that stop. It's not a bad idea. Kind of hide the back of that. Like that. Yeah. Make it look like a knot in the tree. Oh, hey, guess what? I'm out of hydrogen. Dang it. How many times can one hit the ground before they just decide not to go out without hydrogen anymore? I thought for sure I had some, but apparently not. Alright, so the other thing, I want to start actually putting on some displays in this elevator so that we know what's going on. So for one thing, I want to have a power display up here so that I don't have that happen again. So I think one of these little corner displays should do the trick. Just put it right up in the corner, nice and quiet. I think over here makes sense. Let's do that. Now the only issue, that does mean that we're going to actually have to have a timer and a computer on here. So let's get underneath and work on that. I need an easier way to get underneath, just for now. We can replace the parts later. There we go. So we'll just go ahead and pop a programmable block. Stick it right. Yeah, I'll just stick it right there, and a timer right there. Automatic LCD 2. Check code. Okie dokie. Remember an exit. Run. Oh, default, yes. And the timer block. Trigger now, and start. And let's make that silent and trigger now. And we should be good. Let's go get this guy figured out. Oh, of course he's upside down. Why wouldn't he be upside down? Is it just power? Is that all we need? I can't remember. Reactors, solar. Okay, I need to make sure that it's just the power for this grid. T colon star. Okay. Looking at batteries. Stored output. I need the simpler version. Let me go look this up really quick. We don't want power. We want power stored. Stop red. No, stored. Let's see if that works a little bit more like we want. There we go. And then increase the font size to 2. And there we go. Beautiful. So it's at 93.8% charge. That's what I want to be able to see. I want to be able to walk on to my elevator and know that I'm not going to plummet to my death in any time soon. Okay. Put that back. We don't need to get back underneath for a little bit. And now I can feel confident releasing the connector. Haha. And can we get away with this now? No. The reason it succeeded in going down last time was because we were plummeting to our death, which not really what I wanted to do, you know? So what settings did we still have on here? Forward direction up. So let's change this to down. We were also playing around with like turning off the gyroscope and that kind of thing, but I'm actually thinking I want to remove the gyroscope. Well, let's play with that in a minute. For right now, we're going to do remote control, and we're going to do what I've been doing the whole time, which is forward direction being down, mining floor. Okay, that should be all we need. Okay. So here's the other thing that I heard, and that is that we apparently need to have a down thruster of some kind to get this to work. Now, we could throw an atmospheric thruster underneath somewhere, but I was thinking, if I put an ion thruster in here, it'll think it has a down thruster. I'm just going to throw it right here for now. But it won't actually do any damage because ion thrusters in atmosphere don't do much. So without that flame being there, and we won't leave it here, I'll put it underneath. I'm just curious if that would be enough to convince it that it actually has the ability to go down. Well, no. That's really odd. See, now if I go in and actually take over remote control, I can't right now because autopilot's on, but I can now. And I hit C, we fall at a pretty good rate. No problems whatsoever. And that ion thruster's doing basically nothing. But if I tell the remote control to do the exact same thing, go, it goes nowhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if it actually does need like a real thruster. All right, now let's see if it's able to go anywhere. Yep, it doesn't even actually need the thruster. It just needs to know there is a thruster. So bizarre. Welcome to Space Engineers. And there we are. We're at the mining floor. Beautiful. Well, at least that. Okay. So let's go ahead and set up our connector on this floor. I think I actually want to have some magnetic force on this thing. I had turned it off a long time ago. it actually lines it up nice and well. And I know that when it's unlocked, like right now, I would have a problem with the magnetic force on that. But as soon as you unlock it, it disables that force for just a little while. It kind of gives you time to get away. So we'll let that go ahead and do its thing as we find a place to put an upward thruster. Because oddly enough, I don't want it sitting next to me. There we go. So you see that light blue right there? That's actually the color that it goes when it's kind of letting you go. I wanted to put in, now that we know how many floors, 1, 2, 3, and 4 floors, let's put in 4 buttons. And even if I have to write my own program or something, I will make it so that I can do this all with only 4 buttons. So let's set up the bottom floor. Luckily, the bottom floor and the top floor are always going to be approached from the same direction. Yeah, because I'm about to drill out a thing again. Duh! Okay, I thought there was going to be a block underneath. Alright, so let's just go ahead and put in a few more remote controls. And let's pick a remote control. So this is our original one? Yeah, this is our original one. So this is the mining floor one. And this one, we're going to do remote control hangar floor. E hangar floor. Add. Well, sorry about the abrupt jump there. I know I've done a lot. And I kind of wasn't even finished with the thing I was doing a second ago. But honestly, this was getting a little bit frustrating. Things weren't working. I shut everything down, took a break, and came back. And I highly recommend that method if you're ever getting frustrated with a project in Space Engineers. Because most of the time, well, part of the time, you restart the game and it solves a whole bunch of problems. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it. But it also gives you a fresh chance to look at things. And that's exactly what happened, and I gotta tell you, things are working great. One of the things I did is I went over to my favorite little visual script builder, and I made myself a script visually that is currently in a programmable block underneath the elevator down there, and it's hooked up to this button. So this button will run PB connector run. Now, I will put the actual script in the description down below. Not the script, but the load line. If you haven't seen my introduction to the Visual Script Builder, feel free to head on over there and take a look at that. And you'll understand more about what that load line is. What that script does is it looks for a connector that is either connected or not. And I mean, not just any connector, but the connector down below on the elevator here. And if you press this button and it is connected, it will disconnect. If it is disconnected, it will try to connect. And if it can't, then it will change the magnetic force and increase it, making it a little bit easier to kind of align. And then, you know, if you press it again, it'll potentially connect. Anyway, one way or another, it's a one button to connect and disconnect. So I can do this all day long. And each time I disconnect, I float down a little bit. It's kind of interesting. I haven't actually tried seeing if I... Yep, there we go. I just got down low enough so that it says unconnected. And I can press this all day long and it won't work. But if I hit the button for the top floor, it comes back up. Hit it again and I'm connected. See? It works. Can you believe it? All right, so we're going to unconnect, and we're going to tell it to go to the next floor down. And this thing actually works. We can take a look at the settings. Honestly, I fiddled with things until they worked. I don't even know how I managed to do that. Let's see. So this would be the control floor. And this is oddly enough set for the forward direction. It actually worked. That's amazing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but this seems, whatever settings I've got this time, precision mode on, collision avoidance off seems to work. So there you go. It's okay. As you can see, it doesn't line up perfectly. And it's disconnected. And unfortunately, yeah. So I might just have to kind of tell it to go to the next one, or what? Sometimes if you tell it to go to the next one for a split second and then turn it off again, then you can get within line. So it's not a perfect system. That's for certain. And as I've been going down to each one of these floors and noticing how dark it gets, I've been adding in the lights as needed. So that should be right. Yeah, that's where I have them. All right, let's try the next one. So unconnect and the mining floor. Sometimes it goes quickly, sometimes not so much. It's a little bit goofy, but it seems to be fairly stable now. Like it actually eventually does what you want it to do. Look at that. See, and then we can just lock that in so that we're not running out of battery. And that should be charging up there, and we'll always know if we're running out of battery there. And yeah, that's it. And yeah, I've checked all the floors from every direction. We can go back. Oh, jeez. Of course it's going to prove me wrong. No, there it goes. Okay, we're heading back up to the control floor. And there's no doubt that this is definitely faster than walking up the stairs. It's still a little bit goofy. Is this low? Was it low before? Hang on, I want to see this. So if I go up to the top floor, not gonna. Okay, just gotta hit it a few times, I guess. All right, and let's turn that off and go back down. Sometimes you gotta turn it on and off a few times. It's strange. Welcome to Space Engineers. Is this one not set for precision mode? I wonder if that's what it is. Because it seems to stop a little early. Let's see. Remote control floor. Precision mode is on. So I don't know what's going on there. This is the one that says forward. So I don't know. One way or another, let's tell it to go all the way down to the hangar floor. And this one I know works and occasionally bumps around, but it definitely gets us there. Just realized I can put lights in here directly. I should just do that. I should just put some corner lights in here. Like that. Like, why wouldn't I do that? Yeah, that works well. And look at that. Connected, and we're here. It's a working elevator. Like, completely working, a little bit bouncy and hokey, but definitely completely working. So, I'm done. I am not going to do any more episodes devoted to the elevator, I promise. We will get on to more things. I've got some special stuff planned. I definitely am going to finish off the walls, though that probably will not be an episode in and of itself. I'll probably just kind of do that and explain how I did it and then continue on, because I want to have interesting new projects for each episode. I've got all kinds of plans for the future, but we will talk about those in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode or the things that I did in it, please hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button, hit that alarm bell, and as always, I'll see you next time on EpicTech. I look forward to using this elevator, like actually using it, not just building it, but actually going up and down in it.